In this video about Evernote, we are going to talk about something I call a people pad. This is not an idea original to me. It is one that I borrowed. And it's really an evolving process for me, where the others that I've talked about in previous videos are ones that I use consistently and have for a long time. Usborne has kind of transitioned through a lot of different programs. You can keep track of your contacts in Order Pro. You can keep track of contacts in, we used to have IMN that managed a mailing list. I've looked at other different contact sort of software. And right now, Evernote is just a way for me to organize my brain and my activity. And so this is becoming my method of choice with this area as well. And so a people pad is a way for me to really get better at my customer care. There are people that we meet at our parties. I've already got a system for taking care of my hosts. As you can see in my current bookings, I set reminders to continue to follow up with those hosts and those people in those parties. But there are people that we might meet at events. There are people maybe that we meet in a party that we really want to stay connected to. And so those people get translated into their own note in my people pad. And so you have your notebooks. I have a notebook that is people pad. And inside that notebook, I have notes with a bunch of people. Now, I'm not going to click through a lot of these just to keep people's information confidential, but the people pad template is kind of really simple. You just have their basic information. I keep track of whether I've added them to my VAP list. I track how I met them, and then these notes are just very different for each person. So maybe I've got birthdays, maybe I've got orders, maybe I have different contacts when I've last talked to them. But again, when I have a new contact, I will copy the template and I will make a new note in my people pad and I paste it in here. And my new contact is none other than myself. And I will put the name, and maybe I want to say follow up when there is a new catalog. And I put in those notes, and that's the next time I want to follow up with this person. Or maybe when I'm doing a special recruiting event. One of the things that ways that really helps me stay organized with these people is tags, to add tags. And so I meet a lot of maybe grandmothers go a lot in my people pad because they are good personal shopping people. And so I tag them. So around October, I pull up my personal shopping tags, and those are people that I like to follow up with, because October is when I really like to hit people for the early holiday season. Maybe this person is a potential recruit. And so when we have a special recruiting event that's coming up, I really want to reach out to them. And so it makes it really easy to search. It pulls up all my potential recruits. When I search in the notes right up here, and that whole list pops up. Or if I know that they're a future booking, or they've said, I'd love to do a party sometime, but now it's just not the right time, then I will note them as a potential party. And then when I really need to hit the fan for some bookings, those are the people that I flock to. So these tags can be really nice. And over here, you'll always see the notebook that you are currently in. So when you set these, these little tags on the title, and you set the reminder, I want to set a reminder to follow up with her maybe in a week for whatever it is. Then I talked about, you get an email. I get an email every day that says, this is what you need to do. And now, as I have been working more with Evernote, it's become so handy. But this is a little bit what the email looks like. It'll have the date. I have these set to come at like 8 a.m. And it lists here's what's due today. And it will show me all the different notes. This one only has 2 in it. But as I get my reminders more organized, these come and there will be 6 or 7 in them. I have kind of a system that I like to do now, that any of my customer care follow-ups, I like to schedule them all on Monday. So my Monday emails are usually pretty big with those customer care, and I might make 25 contacts a day on a Monday, because that's when I set those. If it's a school and library related email, I tend to set those reminders always on a Wednesday because that's when I like to focus on school and library. When I set reminders for my team, I usually try to set those as a Tuesday, Team Tuesday. That's when I really like to do a lot of my team focus connecting. So you can kind of organize when you set those reminders so that when you get this long list, if you've got 25 of them that are all very similar, it makes it really easy to crank through and pound out the details. Then the most important thing is to go back into that note, pull it up, and change the reminder of the next time you're going to follow up with that person. Just in case you don't hear back, it allows them to stay on your radar. Maybe you want to follow up in another week or 2 weeks if you haven't heard back. Maybe you just put them in the round for another 3 months. Whatever it is, you want to make sure you change the reminder and set it again so that they don't ever go off your radar, but they stay in your funnel. So that is a little bit about how I use my People Pad. If you have any questions, post them below or feel free to message me. Thanks, guys.